The biggest cost drivers are not what homeowners expect, whether it's adding an addition or sticking within the footprint of the house. Selections can impact the price quite a bit, as well as overall scope creep. When you're doing an addition, you're going outside of the footprint, you're adding a lot of money there just to get that extra space before you can put the money into finishing it off. There's a lot of time and material involved into building out that part of the house and adding on that space. I don't think it makes sense for a homeowner if their plan is to only be there for 5 years or 10 years. The amount of money that's going to go to an addition, you're not going to get your return on investment to that. I think it makes sense to do an addition if this is your forever home. If you're planning to be here for a long time, you're expanding on is going to help the family out to get a larger kitchen, a larger living space. Is there in-laws or family that are going to be moving in to add an addition, a space for them, for somewhere to stay? I think that those things make sense. There's so many options with selections, depending on whatever it is you're in. They all have a different price range, so they can all add up. Spending a little bit more on a couple is not a big deal, but spending a little bit more on several of them takes a little bit into a big chunks. I think it's very important to have those nailed down. So first we know what the overall price is for the project. We know this is what they want and what it's gonna cost. Certain items you can get, they're fairly readily available, and other ones can take several weeks to get in. We're gonna build our schedule right off the start, and we wanna make sure like all of those products are ready, they're on hand and ready to go by the time we actually need them. If some of those selections are made later, and it could affect the schedule and the overall time frame. A traditional contractor will put more allowances towards certain selections and then having you stick with those as you're moving forward, where we like to give price range to start with and then have all those selections made ahead of time so we know exactly where we're going to be at. And then watching out for scope creep, where we keep adding a little bit while we're there. Hey, let's add on this part of the project, and when that scope continues to grow, of course, the costs are going to grow, and the overall time frame of the project's going to grow as well. If you don't have a stopping point, they continue to roll and snowball, and it can turn into quite a bigger project than what you initially started with. Our goal is to try to reduce uncertainties as much as possible. Accounting for these uncertainties for the outcome of a project is making sure we have those costs covered in the initial project, so they're not an unforeseen change order that we have to do. So we plan for those uncertainties by checking with the city and the township ahead of time before we get too far with the design and selections part, as well as having JEPSET meetings with subcontractors and suppliers to make sure that we're covering everything. A well-planned project protects homeowners from the initial budget getting blown out of proportion, making sure that project moves along in a timely fashion and follows our schedule. At the end of the day, one of the most important things is just to make sure we're removing any uncertainties before the start of a project.